Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Rob Zombie's The Munsters. And this is a Netflix original film, obviously directed by Rob Zombie, and this is a remake of the beloved television series that I spent a lot of time watching when I was younger, The Munsters. And you can definitely tell this is something that Rob Zombie definitely watched when he was growing up and has probably been a lifelong fan of the Munsters because you can feel some passion here. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I've never once watched an actual Rob Zombie directed film. I've heard plenty of things, have never really been super interested, but I was eventually going to bring myself to actually check out some of his films. And I've heard comparisons of like this is his Spy Kids to Robert Rodriguez, or his House with the clock in its walls from Eli Roth, of like, here's a very adult filmmaker who makes very adult movies in terms of gore and violence, and taking his shot at making something family friendly. And he makes the choice of making an origin story for the Munsters. So like this is very obviously like, how did Lily and Herman meet? How did Herman be created? How did that happen? How did they get to the suburbs in America from Transylvania? And that's the story. And along the way, it's pretty clunky, and I really do feel like the first act of this movie is a bit of a drag, and I feel like the third act of this movie is a bit of a rushed, messy narrative. And this film ends very anticlimactically. It's just like, here's the thing, all problems resolved, yay! Credits roll, fun song. Wait a minute, wait a minute. That's how this movie's gonna end? That's exactly how I felt. Like, this felt like a TV show pilot. And like, you knew, if I waited 1 week, we get more resolution. Here, it's a movie. Like, you can't really do that. There's no expectation that we're going to get another movie. And you're just like, oh, this is how they're going to resolve this? And overall, there's a very loose thread of what's going on here. But, you know, it's Herman, played by Jeff Daniel Phillips, who I think does a really fun job channeling the energy of Fred Gwynne, who was Herman Munster. He's no Fred Gwynne, but like, I think he does a really fine job of finding some humor in it, finding a zany performance, and really enjoying it. Sheri Moon Zombie, who plays Lily, I was not convinced. I didn't really like her in this role, and I don't think she really captured like the strength that I remember Lily Munster having. Daniel Roebuck, who plays the Count, aka the grandpa, is great. He's having a ball. He's really enjoying this, and you could tell. You have Richard Brake, who plays this. He plays one Count Orlok, who Lily goes on a date with earlier in the film, aka Nosferatu, which was funny. But also plays this mad scientist who makes Herman Munster. And you have like Jorge Garcia, who plays his like henchman. You have Igor, played by Sylvester McCoy, aka Doctor Who, who plays the Count's kind of right-hand guy. Overall, I think the cast is good. Mine is Sheri Moon Zombie, who I wouldn't say she's not good. I just don't feel like she brings much to this role and doesn't really flesh it out that much. From a production design and cinematography, like, you could tell this is like shot like a sitcom. It's silly, it looks campy, it looks low budgeted in many ways with the production design, but like, it feels silly and zany on purpose, and I feel like Rob Zombie's finding the right tone for it. But the issue is, there's definitely some moments where he really makes some Rob Zombie type choices that feel really out of place and weird. But in general, for a film that lacks a really flesh out narrative and feels a bit aimless for a decent amount of the film, I had fun with it. And like, I wouldn't say I love this. Would I watch it again? Probably with like other people. I probably wouldn't sit and watch this again by myself. But I had some fun with it. It's silly, it's goofy, and you can tell Rob Zombie knows that, leans into it, and tries to give you a good time. And I feel like that's what you could really ask for from here. Do I think that he was the best choice to direct this? Probably not. Probably like a cheap one, but who directed the 90s Addams Family movies? Yeah, he probably should have directed this. But like, you know, I think this film is the best that Rob Zombie was going to put forward, and I think it's a fine little film. And it's on Netflix. Pop it in, put it on in the background, whatever, have a good time. It's silly fun time. But those are my thoughts on the Munsters. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.